Good morning. Happy Monday. What's up, social media, Facebook, YouTube, New Destiny family, everybody that rocks out with us. This is our first Monday where we come and my husband and I share principles. So as you get ready to join and rock out with us, let's get ready to rock out. Make sure you like, you share all of that great stuff, and let's get ready to grow together. Here we go. Let's grow. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. If you're rocking out with us this morning, I dare you to heart it up. I dare you to shout out, rock out, and put good morning in the screen as we talk about coffee conversation with my baby daddy, my boyfriend, my best friend, all of that in the bag of chips. So let's get
Good
ready to
morning.
rock out. So if you're on, good morning, husband, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Yeah.
She always throw me out
Just like
there,
that.
yeah. It's like I say, like she said, good morning. We're both actually getting together content right now because we're excited about this conversation this morning. We really are. One thing about us, we always gonna try to bring you information. Well, first I'm gonna say good morning to you. I pray you had a great weekend. I pray that this is your Labor Day morning where you're not laboring, where you're actually kicking back, enjoying the day. If you are at work, do as less as possible.
Really?
Keep your job, but don't overexert yourself because this is a national day that we shouldn't labor as much. Good morning, Miss Butler. So, our coffee and conversation, if I serp in your ear, forgive me now because I probably what happened the whole entire live. But no, we always want to bring you content, and it's relevant. I'm gonna tell you, a secret. Me and my wife, we do our best to try to do some type of planning about the conversation. But most of our conversations, right before we jump on, we have a quick little discussion and say, hey, what are we going to talk about today? And we try to make sure that it's like that. So it is as fresh and relevant. Hey, Miss Miles, fresh and relevant as possibly can be so that when we bring it to you, it makes your day like what's the word I'm looking for? It looks like a resolution to where you are right now, not something in the future. So we're really excited about this discussion and this conversation. We have some content that I'm trying to make sure I bring up so the other conversations we can share with you. But I'm going to ask you to do me one favor. Make sure you give it your all. Listen to this when we're going to share some information with you. Do me a favor. Sit back, relax, enjoy, but take notes. Take notes. Take notes. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Take notes because the notes that you take will help you beyond today. So, baby, you almost ready?
I'm ready. Just for y'all to know, shout out to my baby, our niece. Today is her birthday. Can y'all heart it up for Lala? Somebody bring me Lala. Today is Lala's birthday. So we are celebrating her. So you're gonna hear her in the background and she's gonna be talking, but we're gonna rock out anyway, no matter what.
Yes, that's
So
my
today is
first
her birthday. Can y'all say happy birthday to her?
my first great niece, a
Our
great
great niece, my baby.
niece or
So
nephew. We don't have anything like that.
right. So here we go, Bishop. So first of all, we are discussing. I think they bring him in my baby. Here she come. Go ahead, Bit. They say happy birthday, Lala. Say hi, Lala. Look, say
Hey,
hi.
Lala,
Say hi.
Lala. Hey, Lala.
Happy birthday,
Hey,
Lala.
Lala.
She like, what is going on, Nanny? See you later. Mwah.
Almost got everything together here. All right, now I'm ready. I'm ready to
Thank
roll
y'all so
now.
much for
Okay.
shouting out to her. All right, here we go. Deep dive in. I want you to type on the screen. We're gonna deep dive into this conversation. We want to keep y'all on so y'all can enjoy y'all Labor Day off, but as well as we share some things. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. As we rock out, Bishop, we are talking about. You want to share the conversation?
Yeah, commanding your money this Monday. We talk about commanding your money on this Monday. This Monday's conversation is commanding your money. The reason why this topic brought up, let's be real, let's be honest. We're entering to the last stages of this year. Let me turn my camera on just for a second because my niece is here. We're not used to all this noise. And so they got cartoons and everything. All right, now I'm back. All right, so but commanding your money on this Monday because we walk into the month of September. We're in the month of September. That means theoretically we have 3 months left of this year. Now let's be honest with ourselves. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Let's be honest with ourselves. As we walk into the last 3 months, we have to be. This is a grown-up conversation. I said it before. I said it again. The reason why I say this grown-up conversation is because it's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to make some decisions. It's time for us to realize that we can either keep crying about what happened every year, or we can know it. We can take authority, take control to make sure we command our year, command our month, command our day, and command our money. And so, walking to the end of this year, we have 3 months left, which is, um, you know, statistically, the most money is spent in the last 3 months of the year. You got October coming up, that's Halloween. You got November coming up, that's Thanksgiving. You have Christmas coming up. You have New Year's coming up. You have, I mean, all these holidays coming up within the next 3 months. And so, statistically, we spend more money in the 3 months. Statistically, this is the most depressing quarter of the year. Statistically, and I keep saying the word statistically because these are just numbers that we keep falling victim to. We keep falling victim to these numbers. And so, me and my wife wanted to talk to you this morning because we wanted to catch you right now, September, before you walk into those last 3 months of the year. We want to catch you right now, September. I want you to start saying, I'm going to start commanding my money today. On this Monday, today, I'm gonna start commanding my money. Now, we won't ask you to do that. If we won't ask you to do that without giving you some tools, without giving you some concepts, some principles. And for those who are on from the Lions Den, this is kind of a bleed over from last night. It's a kind of a bleed over from last night. But don't jump off because we wasn't able to elaborate more and give you more content and context for what we're going to talk about. But I want y'all to type on the screen today. I want you, for those who are on, if you join late, if you're watching this replay, I want you to type this here. I will command my money. I want you to type that. I will command my money. I want you to type that. I'm gonna give you some tools. My wife can give you some tools, but I want you to type that in there. I will command my money, and that's the thing. And a lot of us, and we're gonna share with something with you here in a minute. But Dave Ramsey, when me and my wife were taking some Dave Ramsey courses, Dave Ramsey said, if you don't tell your money where to go, it will tell you where it's gonna go. So I want y'all to take some ownership, take some responsibility this morning, and let's talk about I will command my money. My money. All right. So anything you want to say, babe, before we jump deeper into this conversation?
I want to say this to everyone that's joining, everyone that's on. We come every Monday and we talk about every first
Oh,
Monday.
look, is that Shasta Lampkins?
That's Shasta. Hey, Shasta.
Hey, Miss
Oh, that's one of
Lampkins.
our babies. Hey, Shasta. Shasta mama now. Her mama.
Man, Shasta. I
Oh,
would
Shasta,
love to
you got
see
to come
you.
see us one day. Please come to
I
our
would love
church.
to see
Come
you and your
see us.
sister Celeste. I'm
We
sorry,
would
y'all.
love
That
to
that
see
that,
you.
that took me way back to youth church, picking them up, bringing
To
them to youth
say
church, and
hey. We
man, I almost
love
cried.
you, Shasta. I know. I
Okay.
almost had a moment. So we
You-
we come this morning to give you principles. So wherever you at, I want you to have pen and paper. If you can't, just write it on the canvas of your
uh,
mind. But this is a topic that is so sensitive to church. It's so sensitive to people don't want to hear about it. Oh, them pastors, they talk about money, whatever. At the end of the day, God has allowed us. This is the way we maneuver through life. We make so many mistakes. And the only reason why we realized as we were talking and discussing what we were going to talk about, we realized that this topic was so near and dear because I remember going into the month of October or the month of August and wondering how we were going to buy our kids clothes. I remember going into the month of October wondering how we going to pay for Christmas, going through a moment of depression because, man, we don't have enough. Or walking in, I never forget one Christmas, Bishop. We walked, we had no money. We were not ready. And we were used to buying our kids all kinds of clothes. I need you to put the number one if you ever been there when you had no money and Christmas was right around the corner. This is November, December, your Christmas time. And all of a sudden, you have nothing left. You had no money left at the end of your month. If you've been there, I dare you to heart it up, put the number one, let us know that you're there where you had nothing at the end of your month and you were trying to figure out what you were going to do, how you were going to do that. Well, we've been there. and being at a place of trying to find out, walking in the dollar store, I never forget it. I was like, babe, we got to do something different. We can't keep doing the same thing and looking for a different result and thinking that we can't buy all these presents, 15 and
No,
20 presents a
no,
piece. And we were either pregnant with another child or had another child. And we were at a place that we needed to figure something out. And so we came up with something. We ain't gonna talk about that because I don't want to push that on nobody. But we came up with a plan when it
no,
came.
no. That's part of commanding our money. We gotta share
Okay,
that. And I said so. I was working my wife, and listen. People could say what they want to say. People can't judge you. If people don't spend more than 24 hours with you on, I would say more than 24 days in a row. People can spend 24 hours with you. They just probably stepped in and just visited you. No, I'm talking about 24 hours with you, more than 24 days in a row. They don't know you. And so me and my wife tried to work. She had a job. She had a good job. But when we looked at it one day, she was spending more money in gas and daycare, and she may have cleared maybe $50 extra a check after paying gas and daycare $50. And that tell you what, that $50 wasn't worth my wife being out the house. So she could have earned that back by being there with our kids, giving them loving and caring. So I was the only person working at the time, and we just, it was hard. It was one of the hardest Christmas ever. And we sit there and we walked in the dollar store and say, you know what, babe, listen, we didn't care about what people thought that day. We said, let's go get our kids three gifts. We bought them each three dolls from the dollar store. I think we bought, maybe some purses from the dollar store. And I don't know what else. We bought them three gifts from the dollar store piece. And they was able to open them up, and we got them a stocking full of candy. That
well,
stocking full of candy.
we got so courageous with it. Okay, don't judge us. Are y'all listening? I need to know y'all listening because don't judge us. But we got so courageous with it. Bishop was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to light up the fireplace. Wood ain't that much, right? So we're going to light up the fireplace. We're going to make sure we set it all up, and we're going to treat them like it's Jesus. Come here. You know how the three wise men, Tonya, this him talking to me. Men, the three wise men, they only brought three gifts, baby. All these kids need three gifts because Jesus only had three gifts. Y'all, it was so
We broke out the
convincing.
Bible. We broke out the Bible.
We broke out the
And we
Bible.
talked
We
about
had.
the nativity scene, and we talked about the wise men coming marching in.
Yep, we cooked cookies the night before. We had milk. We got some cookies and milk for Santa. At that time we was teaching Santa, don't judge us, whatever. We made our kids believe. We wrote a letter to them. We made it so traditional, so unique, to where that morning we got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, had everybody come sit in the fireplace. And while we're sitting at the fireplace, we read the scripture about Jesus and how the three wise men, and one of the kids read the scripture. So while the kid is reading the scripture, every kid opened up a present one at a
One at
time.
a
So we
time.
had
And
Kiana
they
open
had to
a
say,
present.
we thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus, for my present. Then we had another one open. Thank you, Jesus, for my present. Y'all, that was how many years ago? I don't remember how many
Oh,
years ago, but we still do that today because
today.
we learn how to command our money. We made a decision. Now, we don't go to the dollar store. Of course, they get bigger gifts. They're older. But we learned how to command. You could take it, y'all can have it. I'm telling you, it changed our life
Yes.
forever. Y'all can have it. That is something that we did to be able to realize that we had to get in front of our money and
Yep.
not allow Christmas, Thanksgiving, other holidays to cause us to go into a place of depression.
I
And so
think
when
now.
we talk about commanding your money, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying. I think now, and so now, I want to say, I don't want to say this number wrong, but I think now we do as a family no more than $300 a piece on each person's family, no more than $1,500 on Christmas. So y'all think if we go from how low we was at then to where we are now, we try not to spend more than $1,500. And you know what? The crazy thing is, we try our best to do so much throughout the year to where it's so hard to try to figure out what can I get, some what did I get you that you don't need already. So we try to end up getting practical gifts. So that's what this is all about. Go ahead, baby. I cut you off.
No, you're fine. So why do we do this? Because we realize that so many of us, we walk around, we do it. My husband does a class called financial, we do a financial build
Freedom.
legacy building class. And so he does a class. And so what we found out, and we're going to give you those tools. So we're not just telling you something that we got all our money together. What we're telling is that we started the journey of learning how to command our morning and command our money by commanding our morning,
Yeah.
commanding our week, and speaking over our money. How many of you know it's very important to speak over your money, speak over the very thing that God gave you, because the Bible says for us to be good stewards. I dare you to type in good stewards.
Good
For us
steward.
to be good stewards, it's it is valuable to you, and it allows you to be able to go to the next level within your money. And so we had to learn the process because we got tired of being broke. Okay, I love to share our story so you won't think that we didn't made it. We have made bad and poor decisions. Oh, I need you to type in poor if you've been there with us. I see y'all good stewards. I need you to type in poor decisions. We have made poor decisions. We have made bad decisions. We have messed up. We have done some things where we just talked about the other night. We had a repo. I had never had a repo in my life. And we were pastoring the church. Come here, glory. Jesus may not. So pastors make mistakes too. Pastors also do not manage their money properly. We also make mistakes. And so we found ourselves in this place of making poor decisions. And
Yeah.
so we ended up having a repo. We ended up losing our house. We ended up not losing. We didn't pay the bill, so we had to get out. So we ended up going through all of that,
Wow,
making poor
Pastor.
decisions, and we had to reap the consequences of that. Ooh, hard it up if you've been there reaping the consequences. So we're not telling you something that we ain't never done, but we made a decision to do something different.
And I'm gonna say this real quick. I never forget, so I'm talking about the pastoral perspective, right? And I know a lot of people they get this is something huge, and I want to let y'all know when I bring this up, don't judge anybody because you don't know what people are. And so I never forget every year, man, we should look forward to two moments. We used to look forward to income taxes. We used to look forward to a pastor wife anniversary. I'm be so honest with you. We look forward. Hey, this is a church platform. We're gonna be honest. We look forward to income taxes. They came around February. We all wanted it in January, but it really didn't come through to February. We used to fuss and act a fool from January all the way to February. Where my money at? And then after February hit, our anniversary was in September. And we used to look forward to September because September will help us make it to Christmas. And we would, no, don't you judge your pastor, man. Don't you judge them at all because a lot of them put all their energy, all their effort into the church, serving people, and all they get all year long is an anniversary. And so we had to make some changes there in our church for some purposes and reasons. But that was our life because we had poor money management. And listen, and don't judge anybody because most people have poor money management because we were never taught how to really manage money. We was taught how to save, but saving and managing different things. Because how many of y'all can admit that if you save money and you don't know where it's going, you just rather spend it? Because we say now that I don't want to die and I didn't enjoy my money. I didn't want to die and didn't get a chance to enjoy my money. That's why mentality at where love, that talk, accountability, and creative plan. So that's the thing is that how many of y'all be honest with yourself right now is that I don't want to die and don't enjoy my money. So it's hard to save if you don't know why. We don't have a money management plan. And so, but I'm gonna talk about this here. One more thing. It caused arguments. Me and my wife been married for 23 years, 25 years.
It'll be 24, 20, yeah, something like that.
We married so long, you don't even matter no more. We married for about 20, almost 25 years. And the first 15 years of our marriage, we fought about money more than any other argument. And what's so the crazy part, we fighting about something we didn't even have. It's like it's just my wife wasn't my wife wasn't going out buying a whole lot of crazy stuff. It's just we couldn't afford what we needed. Well, I would get mad because my wife went to the store and bought underwear. I'm like, come on, man. But we was trying to make it. Well, the first
And
problem
wait,
was
time out. And the underwear was for you.
yeah, for me.
It's like I'm trying to make sure we're all taken care of, but we were fighting about money because we didn't, and we didn't manage it right. That's why. Go
No.
ahead, husband. I'm
So
sorry.
no, no,
Wait,
no.
I want
So
to say this right quick. She said saving and managing money are two different things. That
totally
is
different thing.
fact.
Two different things. And we think, listen, this is what we think. I'm gonna say this here. We got so much to say, right? So most of us we go through three phases as African Americans. If you're not African American, listen to this call. I don't know you. I just know my African American lifestyle. I'm not gonna act like I know every culture. But as an African American, we go through three stages. One stage, depending on somebody else's money.
You said, can we type that? Because I want to be able. It's something about when you write that down. Depending on, look, you see, I got my pen. Depending on what?
Depending on somebody else's money. That's the first stage. And then the second stage is wasting our own money. I should have said wasting somebody else's money. So I'm gonna say yeah first, wasting somebody else's money, and that's the Ooh, that hit deep. Ba 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 she, roka ba ba she. God just told me if we taught our children not to waste our money, they wouldn't waste theirs.
Jesus on the main line.
And we're changing. We're trying to break generational curses by buying new things, but we're actually creating new generational curses because we're telling our kids they can't afford anything, and so therefore they walk into a depression. So we start off in the first phase is wasting somebody else's money. As children, we waste our mama money. As children, we waste our daddy's money. As children, we waste our grandpa's money and our grandma's money, and we keep feeding them because we want our kids to have what everyone else have, and so we teach them to waste money instead of to value money. So then we go from wasting somebody else's money. Watch this, to wasting our own money. We get jobs. We spend about a typical. Watch this, 25 to 35 years we were age of 25, 35 years before we get any sense of accountability of our money. Most people between 25 and 35 is when they start getting a sense of accountability. Like, I got to make this money. I got to make better decisions. I can't just, now some people go beyond that, but the typical age group between 25 and 35, wasting your own money. And here we go. And then the third stage of being responsible of our money ignorantly. Being responsible of our money ignorant. This is what I mean by ignorant. And most of us die here. I want y'all to give me, once I tell y'all, I want y'all to let me know if you agree with this. But we become ignorant responsible because we think responsibility of our money is number one, paying our bills. Number two, after we pay our bills, we are able to pay our tithes. And as we pay our tithes, we have a little money left over to enjoy. How many of y'all believe in some sense in your life you thought that was responsible? Put the number three. If you thought they were responsible, you thought they're responsible, put the number three on the screen. That if I was able to pay all my bills, that's including car note, gas, food, and then I was able to pay some tithes, pay God my 10%, and I was able to enjoy the rest of my money. How many of y'all would believe? How many of y'all thought back then that was responsible? How many of y'all have ever thought that's responsible? Like that was my goal. Anybody? Did you freeze, baby? Oh, I thought you froze. If you thought that's responsible, type the number three. Yeah, one, and that's honesty. It's honesty. That's honesty. I thought it was responsible. If I can finally do that, that's responsible, man. If I can pay my tithes, pay my bills, have a little money left over, and I told the world that when I was teaching classes about it, my family have learned to be professional spenders. We know how to spend every dollar that we make every year, and we thought it was responsible, and that will create a problem because listen, one oh crap, one oh crap knock all that out the way. What do you mean, oh crap? The air conditioning go out. You have a motor go out in your car. How many of y'all seen the domino effect? Boom. And it always happened right before, right around September timeframe. Right around September it happened and it messed up Thanksgiving. It messed up Christmas. It messed up New Year's. You get the end of the year, it just, and all things go crazy. And then you get yourself, it always happened that way because you've been living check to check. Even though you stretched your check out and it lasts all month, you live in check to check. And so me and my wife had these arguments, these fights, and these things. And so one day after 20, not 20, probably about, I don't know how many years we married because we was living in Conroe. And when we were living in Conroe, we had a situation happen and we had the biggest knockdown, drag out fight. My wife basically said, forget it. She used to, I so much, I'm going to tell you all my business, but yeah, she used to say, I'm going to go get a job. And then we would take the job away. We went back and forth with that stuff and it never worked. She managed the money, I managed the money, and it didn't work. So one day we said, you know what? We're going to do this. I'm going to share my screen. We said, we need help. And this is what we was recommended to. And this changed our life. This changed our marriage. I'm thinking I share my screen. Share screen, share screen. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Window, entire screen. Here we go. This saved our life. This saved our marriage. Can you share the screen so that Financial Peace University? This saved our marriage. It was exactly what we needed where we were. I want you to write that down. Somebody type in the screen FPU. FPU. You want to talk about FPU a little bit, how it saved our marriage?
So, like you said, we had a knockdown. I'm trying to get them kids to turn down this TV. Hold on. We had a knockdown, drag out because of he thought one way, I thought one way, and neither one of our ways was right. So I want to call out every married person in here. Your way, his way is not right, but there's a way that is right to be able to help you. And this, we got in the right rooms, talked to the right people, and this is what we ended up doing, going through Financial Peace University.
And what happened was my boss, him and his wife was taking the class, and I saw him, and it was biblically based, and I saw him making some habit changes, and I told my wife, I said, "We got to get this class," and it was free to veterans, and since it was free to veterans, we got it, and day by day, lesson by lesson, and it's not like you think you're not going to college. It's audio tapes. We listened to how long do you think it took us? About 3 months to listen to the whole thing.
About 3 months, yep.
We learned something that during this process. I stopped sharing. We learned something through this process. Type this down. And all y'all heard of it. All y'all heard of it, but y'all just misuse it. Emergency fund. That was the first thing we learned. Emergency fund. Second thing we learned in this class was debt snowball. We're gonna go through everything, but that's two things I shared that we learned from this class. Emergency fund and then debt snowball. Type that in front. Type in the screen. This is class today. This is class. I love this. You can never get enough of learning. I feel like it's just funny she said that. 'Cause I was just like, this is class today. This is not just juicy juice tea. This is not juicy juice tea. This is substantive information that you can use. We want to be responsible. We want to grow up. We learned emergency fund, and what emergency fund for us was we knew we needed to hurry up and get $500 because the inevitable is going to happen. We're talking about commanding your money. Commanding your money. For those who are jumping on right now, we're talking about commanding your money. We're going into the most depressing season of the year. We're going to the most uh the season of the year we spend the most amount of money, and we're gonna stop now and say, no, I'm not buying you $1,000 worth of gifts per child because I'm gonna command my money. I'm not gonna spend hundreds of dollars going to everybody's house buying them gifts. We stopped that. Ooh, it's so much I want to say. For Christmas, we used to go around and we used to buy everybody big old gifts, and everybody trying to prove it. Man, we listen. We call people now. We call people on Christmas. Don't buy us nothing because we're not gonna buy you anything. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all can get mad at me this morning. Baby, don't we? Don't we tell them? My wife is trying to get the house controlled. We got too many guests, and so that's what's happened. But we still want to
Yeah.
make sure we show up. But baby, we tell them don't buy us nothing on Christmas, don't we?
Yep. Don't buy us nothing.
Christmas is not a time for us to go out and prove to you that we love you more than you love us. It's not about that. So we started commanding our morning. This is we started making sure that we command our money. We started commanding our money and make sure our money is commanded. And we wanted to make sure that we make some decisions. So when we got FPU come, we this is what it did for us. It took me, my decisions, and my wife decisions, and it helped us have Dave decisions. It took me, my wife way of doing money, and my way of doing money, and put it away and say, you know what, let's do it Dave's way. And I tell you, that day, since we listened to class, I promise you, we've done our money like that since day one. Since that day, our marriage got better. And listen, did we stick to it 100%? No. But did we take the substance of it and carry it? Yes, we did. And so we've been rolling with this for a long time, and it's been a great thing to us, and it's helped us out. Um, so hang on one second. Is that you texting me, baby? Oh, is you texting this girl? I'm so sorry. So we want to make sure that we brought the tools. This is one tool. This is one tip
Get my
that we
phone.
brought that came our way to help us out, and it changed our arguments. Now this is something else. I want to give everything about FPU. This is not FPU class. It's not, but it helped our arguments because we started arguing once a month, no, twice a month, every 2 weeks, instead of we started arguing every 2 weeks instead of every month. And we would go through and we would make sure that we sat down, we go over all the money, we understood exactly what we was going to spend, what we wasn't going to spend, and we went through it all step by step by step. So first tip we're going to give you is that look at FPU. If you have, and there's other things out there, but I can't recommend everything. But FPU, Financial Peace University, changed our life because most of us didn't have a plan. Dave gave us a plan. Dave gave us a plan. Dave gave us a plan. So that was the first thing. And so you want to add to that, baby?
Yeah, I want to add to that because here's the thing. Even though we had the plan, there was a time because I love to be transparent and be real and relatable. Is that We had times where we backed off, we messed up, and he probably said that already. Y'all, I apologize. I'm just trying to get my mind right. But it may have been a chance that we backed off. There were chances that we backed off, we messed up, we made mistakes within the money. But if we worked the plan, it worked.
Yes.
It was all about working what we learned. Because here's the thing, you can go out here and get all these books, get all this knowledge, but don't apply it. And that's the problem that we did not do until we had a breakdown of we lost when we had the repo. We had the repo with the whole house, and we had to move out, and all of those things started that domino effect. And if you ever been there, I need you to heart it up. That domino effect of every life just hitting you, and it was like, man, we need to get right, because the Bible says that we got to be fruitful. I mean, we got to be good stewards over the things that God has given us. And so it wasn't until then, when we got into that house, the second house, we moved into when we lost our house and we went to another house, and we were in that house, and we started the process of going back to Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
And when we went back to Dave Ramsey, we was up and down. We'll do it a minute, we'll stop. We'll do it a minute, we'll stop. We'll do it a minute. So if you're there, you're doing it, then you stop. You're doing it. But the thing is, if you have principles that you're able to use, you'll watch the manifestation of God's hand within your money. And so it wasn't until we had enough. Woo, can somebody type in there? Go ahead.
Like she said here, she said it's amazing y'all was able to come to an agreement to watch it. It was either that or divorce.
It was that or a divorce. It was that or we're going to get a divorce. We needed somebody else to give us the direction and the guidance that we needed for.
And listen, we wasn't going to divorce because we didn't love each other. We loved each other. We was going to get a divorce because we said these statements. I never forget how many times we heard these words, and you can go read our book, and it's all in our book titled, Team Harden Marriage Survivor Got His Story and Her Story. We was going to get a divorce because we said these words. I would rather you be happy without me. I'd rather you be happy without me, because who I was not making her happy, and who she wasn't making me happy, because we was fighting so much about money until we say, forget it. I'd rather see you happy spending money where you want to spend money, and she'd rather see me happy control the money, but I want to control money, and to where we just rather see each other happy separate than we were together. And I loved her. She loves me. But it was so much, we was tired of arguing. And Dave Ramsey saved my marriage. If I saw the man today, I'll go to him and give him the biggest hug and say, you saved my marriage. You saved my family.
Twice, not just one time, but he saved it twice. He saved it twice because it wasn't until we had enough. And here's the thing, Bishop said something earlier. He said we were depending on someone else's money, right? I think you said that. We had got to a point where we were depending on
wasting other folks' money.
We were wasting other folks' money, but we were depending on someone else's money. And we realized this. Okay, here's where, I don't know if this is where you were going, but this is where I want to kind of just really, really talk about when we made the decision to change for real. Somebody type change for real. When we made the decision to command our money for real, say that, command our money for real. We really made the decision to command our money for real and start the process. It does not happen overnight, but start the process of commanding our money for real. Commanding our money for real. We got tired, and we were at a point where enough was enough, where we were tired of living check to check.
Yeah.
It wasn't until it was like, we are not going to win like this, living check to check. Ooh, I need you to put the number 4 on the screen. If you say, I'm there, Tonya, I know what you're talking about. I get what y'all are saying. Living check to check is not where it's at. Living check to check is not where it's at. And we were at that point to where my husband get paid very, very well. And we were, making money here and there. But we were at a point to where we were like, dude, we cannot keep living like this. And then we look up and there's no money at the end of the month. And we paid every bill. We're good stewards by this time, Bishop. We're in the house. We're good stewards. We're believing the Lord. We're watching God work. And we're paying bills, and we're not in debt. The house we were living in. Listen, the house we were living in, was cheaper than the house the Lord gave us. The other house was more. We didn't miss a payment. We didn't miss a bill. God was blessing, but it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough.
Woo! Come here, somebody. It wasn't enough. It was check to check, and it was like, okay, we got to do something different.
And so, and Dave Ramsey taught us. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave.
Go ahead.
Dave Ramsey taught us to get a mercy fund and pay off some debt, but that's it. So we
That's
have
it.
$500 sitting there that we spent every year. We
Yep.
spent that $500 every year because why? An emergency always comes up. And so what do you do after the emergency fund goes? You start, you back to square one. We back struggling. So we learn how to be responsible. I hope this helping out. We learn how to be responsible, pay bills, pay tithes, have a little money left over and have an emergency fund and spend the emergency fund. We had to figure out how do we go from here. So do you want to transition from the Dave Ramsey piece?
Yeah, so what we realized was that Dave Ramsey got us where we were at that moment in 2018. I never forget it. Dave Ramsey got us where we were, and this is where we transitioned and started commanding our money. So the Lord told me for 14 days, I need you to write down affirmations that you want to speak into your life and speak over your next. And that's where you hear me. And a lot of you, if you're part of my BAM community or you're part of our church, these are the things I'm always speaking. I started speaking things and writing 14 days. I wrote these down for 14 days straight. I can't remember everything, but one of them I remember is, God, I would never be broke another day in my life. Woo, type that in the screen. I would never be broke another day in my life. Another commandment was that God, money will chase
It's
after
after
me
me,
to bring resources to my community, to my
my
city,
city,
to my
my
church, and
church,
to
and
my
my
children.
family.
Woo, come here. I also started speaking things like, God, we are money magnets because we are good stewards. I started speaking things like, we are lenders and not borrowers. We are
Yes,
the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. Wealth and riches lives in my house. I started speaking that. And all of a sudden, our mindset started to change. Come here, glory. I buy. My mind started to change because I spoke it, but now I started to believe it and
yes,
believing that I would never be broke another day in my life. I started believing that wealth and riches live in my house. I started believing that money would chase after me, that I
yes,
was I was a money magnet. Come here. Oh, that's pastors talking about money. Yes,
yes. We
because
are.
the Bible says that God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and anything that I want, I can have. Come here. So I started speaking and I started believing it, and so we started
But
then.
he also says, I'm going to add to that, that those who have a little, those who have what they, at least what he gave to you, and you increase it, he'll give more. But for those who didn't increase it, he'll take away and give it to someone else. So basically, if you don't manage our money, he'll take it from you. If you do manage the money, he'll give you more.
That part. So we made a declaration. I told my husband, and immediately God told me, and we tell this story all the time. This is our testimony. Don't judge us. But we tell this story all the time. This is when our life changed and has been changed forever. Is because we sat in our house and I told my husband, I said, God told me we have to downsize. We
Yes,
have to downsize.
that
And we
part.
sat down. And I didn't know what downsize meant. Somebody type downsize. Come here.
Or
Can
how
I
it
tell
felt.
my testimony? Yeah, glory. Downsize. God said downsize. We were living in a nice house. And the Lord said downsize, but into an apartment. I said, hold up. Wait a minute.
Pastors.
Pastors of the church. Bishop. Come on, you bishop. Bishop of the church. Woo! Bishop of the church. God said downsize. And so as we were downsizing, in the midst of downsizing, we sat down with our children before making this decision. Come here, every parent, every person that people got living in your house that are younger than you, and you think they don't need to know your transition. They needed to know the transition. And we needed to make a declaration together as a family before making this transition to command our money. Because we no longer wanted to just have money, check the check. We wanted more than enough. Come here,
Yeah.
somebody. We wanted more than enough. And so because of that, we sat down with our girls and we told our girls what we learned. We used the same principles that we learned from Dave Ramsey to where we were going and to our next.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So we
yes.
told our children, we are about to what, husband?
Live like no one
Live like
else
no one else.
until
So
we
that
can live
we
like no
can
one
live
else.
like no one else. Type that in the screen. We
Yeah,
gonna live like no one
like
else
no one else
so that we
until.
can live like no one else.
And the first thing we had to break in this transition was pride, because our mindset is, how can we? Listen, we so stupid. We were so stupid.
I
We used to
was
say stuff like, How we gonna be bishops and pastors of folks, and we got to leave our house and move into an apartment? Can I tell y'all, my anointing don't live in a building? My anointing does not live in a building. My anointing could be on the side of the road. And what happened? We think our anointing is a perception, and people not gonna be able to receive us. And so God wasn't trying to break our living style. He was trying to break our mindset that your pride is what's getting you in trouble. And your pride is really truly why you broke. Because you're trying to live like you
Come
can live
on.
and you can't even afford it. You live outside your means. The reason why you live in that house because you want everybody to think that's what a pastor's supposed to live. That's why you're driving that car because you want people want to think this. And we start doing all these things of our lifestyle, trying to put the perception of wealth with the reality of poverty. And
Come
so
on, sir.
it's almost a guy said, I want you to live. I want you to live like you living. You got an apartment mindset. Go back to the apartment. I want you to live like you living. I want you to embrace your reality. Dude, you ain't got it like that. And so we had to literally go back to the apartment. And man, I promised myself never to ever live in an apartment. But I believe by us living in an apartment, my old kids now felt it. Because before all my kids didn't feel apartment lifestyle, but they felt that cramped sardine apartment with a family of five. You know, five folks don't belong in an apartment. Whoever you are, five folks don't belong in an apartment. This is a big, nice size apartment. We was a small two-bedroom, was it two-bedroom? Three-bedroom apartment. But long
We
story
keep saying
short,
sardine. It was a townhouse. It really wasn't that bad, but we just made it
it was
felt bad.
horrible.
It
It
was
was
it
horrible. I
felt
don't care what you say. You,
yeah,
you,
that
you say
kitchen
what
was
you
like a
want.
sardine. It was, but we were grateful though. Don't get it
We were
twisted.
great. So yeah, so
Because
we
God
went back.
said downsize.
God, God said it, and we embraced it. We embraced
Mhm.
it. My family, and we enjoyed the transition. But listen, we paid off more debt. God told us to pay off. We paid off so much debt
Oh, wait,
in
can
that
I need
apartment.
everybody because I know it's a delay on social media. I'm gonna need y'all to say just pay debt. Just put debt in the screen. Debt. We paid off debt. We used what we had to get where we wanted to go.
My wife
And
got a job, and when she got that job, we took 80%. 80%. We was obedient to God. Her check. Let's say if her check was 1,000, we took 800 and paid off debt. We only kept 200. We was committed because God gave us some instructions. God gave us instructions. We stuck to it, and we knew now that we got to start. And this is where we were, y'all. Let me tug on your heart right quick, right? The reason why we made this move is because we realized we 40. I'm 44 now, so we was probably around 38, 39 when all this was going on, and my daughter was about to graduate from high school. I realized I had nothing for her. I was renting a house, and I had nowhere to tell my child that you can come home forever. I didn't know where her forever was. I didn't have a bedroom to say, baby, when you leave, you can always come home. I felt so inadequate as a father. My credit wasn't at a place. Listen, if y'all tired of listening, check off. But we got to be honest this morning. We got to
oh,
make sure
I
before we
love
go
it.
into the last quarter that we do better. I was sitting there and saying, if my daughter needs a car right now, my credit cannot afford to give her a car. Hey, Miss Viola, my credit cannot give her a car. She's gonna have to go get Paw to use his credit. I felt so inadequate. I need somebody to hear me right now. And I don't know. I need you to just whatever you gotta do, and just
Oh,
to
this
make
is
yourself
good.
understand. I don't want to feel inadequate anymore. I'm too old to be inadequate. And I'm telling you right now, it's not too late to become adequate. And I say I'm so inadequate right now. I have nothing to give my children. I can feed them. I got a church for us to go to. We can pray, but I have nothing to position you for power at all right now.
Come
You at the
on.
discretion of a job. You're at the discretion of a man, some man who had to come and save you from your daddy's inadequacy. And so I said, we got to do something different, man. And that day, no longer did we just want to pay bills.
That
No
part.
longer did we just want to pay tithes. No longer did we want to just, have a little money to say we went on vacation and come back broke. That day I said, I want to have money for my grandkids. I want my
That
grandkids never to have to struggle again. See, some point, if you're gonna command your money, your commanding your money go beyond a year. It go beyond a week. It go beyond a day. When you start commanding your money, you start speaking into your 20 year from now money. I'm
come
speaking
on
to my
here.
20 year from now money and say I'm not gonna spend you because I'm building a legacy for my children.
Yes,
And the
sir.
only way you could do this, you gotta understand some things. So I don't want to get too far ahead, but I want you to
Well,
feel that I was inadequate as a father with 3 daughters and a wife, and all I can say I could do is feed y'all every year, clothe y'all every year, and give you a place to live. But if anything happened, we're in trouble because dad is irresponsible.
Come on, Bishop. So why command your morning? Why command your money? Because it's not just for you, but it's for every person that's attached to you and your family. We made a decision to downsize, to start paying off debt, to do the snowball effect. So everything we told you in the beginning, Bishop, I love how God does stuff. Y'all,
Yes.
when I tell you we didn't know what we was gonna talk, we didn't know. But to see where this is going, I feel the glory of God. Because some people are out here, we were out here, and I believe that the Lord allowed us to go through down moments, to go through that. I told you that first repo I ever had. I couldn't be able to tell you how God can be a blessing to you if I've never been to, or we never been to a point of losing. Come here.
Yes.
How can I tell you the game when we ain't never lost? I can
Yes.
tell you how that person that's listening to me, hear me in the Holy Ghost, that person that is listening to us right now, we can tell you what it is to be without, but we can tell you what it is to have plenty and not
Yes.
use it properly. And we can tell you what it is to have plenty and use it the right way, where you building legacy like no other.
Yes.
Hear me and hear me well. So yes, okay, after sitting in the apartment, we decided to pay off debt. We decided to do some things. But then all of a sudden, come here, glory to God. What happened was God put a unction in our spirit and said that there's other things that you can do that will be able to change the entire trajectory of your entire life. And that is called entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Somebody type it. Entrepreneur, having your own business. So not just living off the church, not just because we're not pastors that want to live off the church and pay us. No, 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 no. We want to teach you how to get your own.
Yes.
That's a whole nother story. I'm not gonna talk about that now because I don't want you
And
to
I,
think this.
but I won't say them, but I won't just say entrepreneurship, but I'm gonna make sure I add this in because I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you a secret is that the we are okay. Man, listen, we're gonna go there. Y'all ain't got to go work. Some of y'all listening because y'all off for Labor Day, so just hang in there for a second. And if you listen to us on Labor Day, I told you don't work too hard. If you're at work, chill out for a second. But we have to realize is this here. I said this here a long time ago. If you know me, you heard me say this. Is that a lot of us we got to admit that we make thousands and we spend thousands. Every last
Mm,
one of us. How many of y'all can admit that we make thousands and we spend thousands? If you make thousands, because we think about which mean I make thousands. By the end of the year, you'd have made over $1,000, and by the end of the year, you'd have spent over $1,000. And it's hard to command what you don't have control over. It's
mm-hmm.
hard to command what you don't have control over. So I'm trying to command my money, but it's spent, and outside the fact we live on our means. But even if we're not living outside our means, we make thousands, we spend thousands. So for us to become any way responsible, we got to be able to spend to make hundreds of thousands but keep spending thousands. Some kind of way we gotta learn how to make hundreds of at least 100,000, at least 100,000 more, but spend just thousands. The way you gotta do that, you got to have multiple streams of income. You must have multiple streams of income. So entrepreneurship is one way of having multiple streams of income, but also in all of it, in some sense, of entrepreneurship. But I'm gonna just give it to a title to make it better. But some type of other income like real estate, you can get stocks. There are different ways you can make more money coming in, but don't take the safest way out. It's entrepreneurship is about risk taking for extra reward. Entrepreneurship is risk taking for extra reward. So if we're going to command our money, we got to get some money to command.
That part.
We
That
can't.
part.
We
And
got. We got
it
to
can't
stop.
be on one income.
No,
It
we
can't be
can't.
on one thing. If even if it's a whatever, it can't be on one thing because there's no way that you can make enough to be able to allow yourself to be able to get out that rabbit hole. It
Yes.
has to be more. Go ahead. I'm
And then
sorry.
the next thing I'm gonna say real quick, y'all. So after we start commanding our money, then listen, we have to understand money. The most problem, most of us, I told y'all, our ignorant account. For those who joining late, we're in September. We're walking into the quarter of the year we spend the most amount of money, the most depressing time of the year that we walk into it, and then we walk into next year trying to say we're gonna have all these resolutions. Well, sweetheart, we're gonna resolve it here in September. We're resolving in September. So when we get to January, we got command of it. We're gonna have command of our money in January. We're not gonna be trying to resolve the leftovers because we want to enjoy Christmas. So we're talking about this is that so now we realize that we talked about earlier that our ignorant thought process of responsibility was we're responsible for our money if we can pay all our bills. We're responsible for our money if we pay tithes, and we're responsible for money if we got a little money left over. If we reached that, we thought we were responsible. That's not the case. And we learned that we got to get mercy fund. And we're not that's still not just the case. But now we have to understand money. How does money work? And the reason why we stay broke because we don't understand how money works. I read a book. Share this book, baby. I read this book.
I love
This
it.
book changed my life. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders. Y'all thought this was a parenting book. This is not a parenting book. This is a financial literacy book. I understood after reading this book how money works. And not just that book, I read another book. This book here changed my life again. I'm gonna teach you a couple things about these books. This book here changed my life. I want to make sure I bring it up real quick for but keep that one for a second. This book changed my life. I'm thinking I stopped sharing this one. My wife, she's cold with this thing. I'm still trying to figure it out sometimes. I read this book, Richest Man in Babylon. And there was another book I read some more, but I won't waste your time on all those books. But these two books taught me. Watch this. You can take it down, baby. I gotta share this one thing with you right quick. These two books, Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad, taught me this here. I was riding a lawnmower and still trying to. Listen, my child got a bedroom now. At this point, she has a bedroom. And the reason why I say about a bedroom because now for a fact we bought a home, we got our credit right. We bought a home on our family property. That's another big thing because we were so busy trying to do our own thing. We came back to family property, built a home. When we built a home and family property, my daughter has a bedroom now. But now it's still not enough. I'm trying to make sure we position ourselves for grandkids. Watch this. I don't want you to just have a mercy fund. I want you to have a legacy fund. And what this is that when I was riding the lawnmower, this book had said something. It says, a part of all you earn belongs to you. A part of all you earn belongs to you. I thought that meant that I need to enjoy my money. I need to make sure I spend my money. No, it taught me that moment. It said, not to the sandal maker, not to the tent maker. Sandal maker is those who make shoes, not to the tent maker, the person who make houses, not to J.C. Penney's, not to Palais Royals, not to all these places. Is Palais Royal still a store?
I have no idea.
But not to all these people who you go buy stuff. We got to learn as a culture that we should not spend all our money every year. If you have $1,000 in account, you're worth $1,000. If you have 5,000 in account, you're worth $5,000. If you have 10,000 in account, you're worth 10,000. What does that mean to you? We talked about this last night, and I won't go deep here. I'm gonna get back to my wife. If you have $10,000 in the bank, you now can go buy something without spending that money. You can go buy something in the real estate world. Carla Bennett can tell you this. You can go buy something right now that's worth, I want to say $30,000. You can say, hey, I got 10,000. You don't have to spend this money. I got $10,000 in account. The bank said, oh, you got 10,000? Well, we'll give you 30,000 or 40 with the 30,000 to go out there and buy something because you have the money. You don't have to spend it. You can get money and you can turn that and let somebody else pay that bill. That's not money for you to spend on yourself. Somebody's gonna pay that bill. It's called a tenant can pay that bill back, and now you have increased your value. This is deeper thinking. But if we don't ever command our money, we'll never get money so we can build wealth and legacy. You want to add to that, baby? Did I go
Yeah.
too deep?
No, I just know it's a lot. It's a lot to it, but it is good information. I hope this is helping y'all because if we could, baby, if we could go way deeper to the
No,
opportunity.
this is the farthest we can go.
This as far as we could go, but to understand the opportunities. But here's the thing: in order to command your money, you got to know this. You got to become a risk taker. Type that in the screen.
That's it.
You gotta come. Let me should say we love deep. I know, baby. I be loving them deep conversations. You understand me? Last night we had in the den. It was so deep. I love it. I love conversations like this. But here's the thing: you got to become a risk taker. If you want to command your money, you got to be willing to do something you've never done before to get something you've never gotten before.
Yes.
What do I mean by that? I mean that we got to get to a point to understand that we cannot have what you call a poor mentality mindset.
I was just gonna say that. Go ahead.
We cannot have a poor, sister didn't say risk taker, LOL. Got to be a risk taker.
I love in
Bishop,
the
find my
Bible,
book.
God
Jump, find
say,
it. Find my book real
yeah.
quick. Jump.
Okay.
I love it in the Bible. God says he gives the power to obtain the wealth. Come on, yeah. Risk taker, risk taker. We got to be willing not to have a poor poverty mindset. What is poor? Poor means, oh, I shared this in my BAM program. Write this down. And I got it for somebody. I don't know who I got it from. Out of book. I don't know where I got it from. But poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. Come here. I don't know where Bishop went. Passing
I
over
can't find it.
opportunities.
Oh,
No, I
my
was
bad.
saying on your computer.
I see. I feel stupid.
That's okay. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Poor mindset is a person that pass over opportunities repeatedly. Yeah. Poor passing over opportunities repeatedly because we don't want to be able to do something that we ain't never done before to get something that we never got. In order to be a risk taker and in order to command, what's up, cousin? I love you, Brittany. In order to command your morning or command your money, I'm so used to command your morning. You got to get over the poor mentality,
Yes.
passing over opportunities repeatedly.
And I was gonna say earlier is that poverty is a mindset, not a condition.
Oh, I like for stuff to sit like that. That was so good. That was a good gem. Poverty is what?
A mindset, not a condition. It's a fearful mindset. It's a fearful mindset. And listen, you know that you have a poverty mindset because you're demonized growth. You're demonized growth. You'll say,
Ooh.
oh, they this and they that and they this and they that, and you'll try to listen justify the lack of growth. It's a mindset. You stuck there. You're afraid, and you try to make everyone else. That's the pastor talking. Somebody right now watching us and probably judging us because you're demonizing us, so you'll make yourself feel comfortable where you are. Keep going, baby.
And then you have broke best friends because of that. Yeah, that was petty. I
Yep.
said it. But you have broke back. But you got to be with. Okay, that was so petty. Lord, I'm so sorry. Jesus. That was the wrong thing to say. But what I'm saying is that until we get out of that mindset and become a risk taker, and be able to go after other opportunities. I don't care if it's a weed basking, whatever. You got to be willing to go after other opportunities. So I read this amazing book that made me become a risk taker, that messed my mindset up after that 14 days of writing. And now I'm seeing the manifestation of God and God opening up doors, and we're getting land and we're building a house and we're, buying cars. Like the Lord is blessing, and I'm watching his hand. And
Hold on,
while watching,
before
huh?
you show the book, before you show the book, was it wrote by T.D. Jakes?
No,
Was it wrote by Miles Monroe?
no.
No,
Joyce Myers, no,
no biblical.
no biblical.
Go ahead. I'm
Well,
sorry.
nobody biblical. I wanted to know from someone to be able to do something different, and I didn't need nobody to bring. And okay, don't get mad at me, but I'm about to say this. I ain't need nobody so super saved to try to tell me how to get money. Bishop, you see me?
I see you.
I don't need nobody super saved trying to tell me how. Anyway, so I needed someone that could give me principles on
Well,
what they did.
be honest. We didn't know what we needed. God literally
Yeah, I ain't know
touched
what
our
I
heart.
needed. Right.
We know we
But I
needed
know
God.
I needed something different though. I do
Yeah,
know that. I needed
but
something different.
God sent this man into our life that we would bless like it to listen to, and He touched both our heart. But show the book to him.
So I read a book by Steve Harvey called Jump. Bruh, changed my life completely.
Mine too.
Changed my life. Jump by Steve Harvey. This book allowed me to think outside the box. This book allowed me to think outside. When I say I'm gonna do this book here in the BAM real soon. Yes, it is. It's a great book, amazing book. They say amazing book. This book make you think outside the box. It allows you to see Steve Harvey through a different light. It allows you to think about business. It allows you to think about doing something that you've already been doing, and you're just using your gift that God gave you to create opportunities. And because of that book, our lives have been unrecognizable. My husband read a book, Soar by T.D.
Yep.
Jakes. He also read
Instinct.
Instincts by T.D. Jakes. Why? Because readers are leaders and leaders are readers. And when you read, it enhances your mind to be able to go to the next level, because there are things that are hidden in the book that will be able to change your life. So what happened? I read this book, Jump. Oh my, I was in Louisiana. I never forget. I read the book while we was in Louisiana. Bishop was working in Louisiana. I'm sitting in this hotel reading this book. When I tell you my life was changed forever. And because of that, I became a risk taker and decided to do something that I never done before. And so when you get here, we're here to this point now where we started commanding our money. We decided to make sure that we save money for our grandkids. Come here. We have a savings account for our grandkids. We have a savings account for our business. We have a profit account. We got a tax account. We got income account. Why? We have all these different accounts because we found out how to command our money.
Yes.
And I ain't just saying accounts that don't have nothing in it. It has some in it. Now that part ain't finna give you the rest of it, but it has some in it because we learned how to save, and we can pull from either one of them because we learned how to command our money, and we learned how not to spend our money because we learned how to live like no one else, so that we can live like no one else. So our kids understood, even in there now, everybody in our house work.
Everybody gonna earn some money because
Everybody
realize
gonna
now
earn money.
it's not about what we're trying to do. Is the goal is no longer to wealth was the goal back then. We wanted to have money to just to just survive. Now it's security.
That part.
The goal now is security. We don't want money. We want security. We don't want $1 million. If someone say, well, you want $1 million, everybody, we don't want $1 million. We want security, and we don't
I
want
want
just security.
equity. I would say, I don't know if that's the same thing, but I would
Equity
say
is good too,
equity. Equity, man.
but I don't want security. Watch this. I don't want security just for me. I don't want security just for my children. I heard somebody say this here, and I'm a pastor. I'm about to cuss, so brace yourself.
You about to
Somebody
cook?
said something. I'm about to cuss when I say this here. I heard somebody say something that pissed me off.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
judge
That's
me. I
so
don't
hard.
care.
That's
This
so
man,
hard.
this man said, I don't care about leaving money for my kids. They're gonna just waste it anyways. I wanted to reach through the phone and choke him because that was the most
Wait,
irresponsible. What you say? We need this is how the Hardens have their finances set up masterclass. But
I'm
it it,
sorry. Go
it
ahead.
it it ticked me off because he just told me that he don't care if his grandkids suffer. He told me he don't care if his kids suffer. It upset me, broke my heart, man. I'm like, why? What would you say that? So I don't want security for me. I found out my responsibility now. I want security for my grandkids. I want my grandkids to have the option to work or work the business. I want my grandkids to have the option to be a trust fund baby. That's what it's
That,
about. So
that's what.
sometimes black people we get so caught up in the smoke of money that we forget the goal of money. Go ahead,
Listen,
baby.
I would also add, we wanted to also be able to walk into any place and say, command whatever we want.
Yep.
And how do you do that? Miss Benny to tell you, build your credit to where you're able to use your credit, as well as for all my business owners, you're able to use your business as leverage, to use your business as business credit to go get whatever you want. I don't ever want to go into a place and not be able to get what I want or what I need or what's necessary for our next to be able to go. So it's learning how to make sure your credit is built. You have good credit. Ain't nothing cute about not having good credit. I said it, period. There's nothing cute about walking around with bad credit. But you can take the time to command it by starting the process of snowballing. How do you do that and what they look like? Real quick, I'm going to say this real quick, and Bishop, we're going to shut this off because we've been here for an hour. Good. I hope y'all been enjoying it. But I want to say this. How do you snowball it? You find the smallest debt that you may have, pay towards it and pay it off. I
Yes.
don't care if it's a JC Penney card. I don't care if it's whatever card. You find the smallest thing. If it's let's say it's $500, you pay as much as you can until you pay that off. Now you paid that off. Do you not know what that does? Oh, this is a girl that worked for Equifax. I know it will build your credit a little bit at a time. So it allows you to pay different things off to where eventually you'll be able to go into other lanes. But you got to do something different. You got to have you can't just do it on a eight nine to
And
five.
hold up,
Don't
somebody
work.
believes somebody think that it's gonna take me forever to fix my credit.
No,
I,
that's a lie.
I woke up in April. I want to say April. Forget it. I'm gonna say April. And I wanted to buy a house. The lady said your credit jacked up. What's my credit? My credit was a 540. Was it
Mhm.
540 or 480? My
That was
credit was a
Bishop credit,
480.
not mine. That was petty.
Your mama. 480. My credit was a 480. And they say you wanted a house. I said, yeah. They say you got to get your credit to a 640. 480, 640. Now, some people go buy and pay somebody to do a credit, credit, whatever, fixed credit, whatever, and whatever you take off is going to be back in a couple of weeks. I went to a credit repair guy. He helped me repair my credit. 3 months later, my credit went from a 480 to a 640 in only 3 months. But you can't sit back and keep talking about what you can't do until you start doing it. You never know.
Now
One,
he
I
ain't
had a
talking about a rinky dink compare credit
no,
person. Now,
I say a credit repair, not a credit fixer, a credit repair. Well,
there
listen,
you go.
I had a foreclosure on my credit that I knew was there because we lost the house. Had a foreclosure on my credit and couldn't find out the foreclosure did what you call a short sale, and it sold before it should have hit my credit. So they had to take it off because it sold before it actually was considered bad debt on me. So it's different things you got to understand you can get done. But I know we sit out here, but it's so much more we can share. We could be here all day. We have a
Yeah.
financial literacy course, and it almost made me want to do that financial
You
literacy course
do.
at the end of the year, and
No,
start
I think you
maybe
need to do like sooner than later. Inbox me and we can give you the credit. Somebody said I
if
need
you're
a credit
interested.
repair.
If I get 5 people, and I'm not joking,
We
if I
wasn't
get
even doing
five
this,
people,
by the way.
no,
Can you share this information? Yes, I'm gonna make sure I share it somewhere.
if I get
Inbox me
five,
whoever want it, and I'll send it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bishop.
if I get 5 people to say they're willing to join the financial literacy course, 5 people, and it's just on my heart because we've taught this class multiple times, and the class it really blessed me. And we just taught it a couple months ago, and never taught it twice in 1 year. But I'm and if Legacy will tell you, we got so many classes that we're teaching this year. I don't have room for one more, but I know the urgency, and y'all have put on my heart this class. Now don't play with me. One thing about it, don't my time is valuable. If you are serious and you're really serious and you really want this financial literacy course and say I need it, somebody sign me up.
That
You know
ain't
what?
it. Got more coming.
So listen, and it is a very intense class. It is 4 sessions, and I promise you, and we take it 1 week at a time. Is one session. Get ready to celebrate 1 year of coffee conversation.
I
Wow,
know
I ain't
that
think
is
about that.
great, y'all. It's 1 year of coffee
You
conversation.
forgot about that.
Bishop, look at all these hands, Bishop. I think you need to do it sooner than later. I think you just
Mm.
got your answer. Y'all, we're gonna come back. We're gonna tell you when, what time, because
I
I
tell you
think
what, do me a
I
favor.
need to be sooner than later because they got 3 more months left in this year
Yeah,
and then prepare them for January. Bishop, we wasn't even going here. God know what he be
no.
doing.
And what I would do it on Monday evenings.
Look, Legacy gonna be mad at you. Oh, now you want to do evenings?
No,
Legacy. She's gonna be mad. Now you want to do it? No, I think that's good, Bishop.
I think I do it on Monday
Legacy, it's
evenings.
different for y'all in the
But
den.
listen, but listen, for them to do it though, this has got to be something crazy. I need you to drop 2 things in our inbox. Let's see, DM. They're going to DM. Is that what they call it? The
I don't
direct
know.
message. I need you to drop your email address. I need you to drop your name, your email address
What I'm
in
gonna
our
do,
direct
I'm
message.
gonna add our email right here, and they can email us. I'm at to Harden Enterprise. 1 second.
Yeah, email us
Email
because
us
this
here.
wasn't going here. This wasn't going here. And listen, I talked to my wife on how we're gonna do it, but it's for I promise you it's intense, and I know it works. I know it works. I have no question at all. Do it work? I know it works,
Look at
and
Legacy. Petty. She said, "I'll take it."
I take it. So it's a financial literacy course, and it's already set up. So we'll set it up. So listen, command you, but you gotta promise me. This is the prerequisite of this course. Matter of fact, it's the prerequisite for the rest of your life. Stop trying to prove to folks stuff that you don't owe them. You don't have to prove them you got money. You don't have to prove it to your kids. You don't have to prove it to yourself. Live the life that you're in, but fight for the life that you want. Live the life that you're in, but fight for the life you want. Stop trying to prove to people that you can go out to eat when everybody go out to eat. When you can't go, you can't go. Stop trying to prove to people that you got the money to buy the new outfit. If you can't buy the outfit, don't buy it. Stop trying to prove to people that you can, floss and go out all the time. If you can't, you can't go. Part of living like no one else, until we live like no one else, was telling folks that we can't go out to eat with y'all. Part of living like no one else, until we live like no one else, we bought our lunches some places and made sure we brought our lunches with us to make sure our kids eat so we had to. Part of like living like no one else to living like no one else, that we had to make sure that we bought clothes that we can afford. But listen, we bought clothes that's gonna last. We didn't buy cheap clothes. We bought clothes that gonna last, and we had to keep buying clothes over and over again. You got to make some hard decisions and get pride out of it. You stop trying to prove to people the lie and start working for the truth.
So I say this. What do you want them to email? Because Bishop, I just feel like you. I always see that our goal, y'all, and for everybody. April, I love you. April Shay, that's right, Bishop. We gotta prove our not prove, Lord, I done went somewhere else. We gotta make sure that this is something. It's a need. One thing
Yeah.
about Bishop and I, we always want to meet a need, and we did not come on here. And if you don't know us, it don't even matter. So, but we
And
didn't come
listen,
on here with that. But
tell me if I'm wrong for this, just so people don't waste my time, because I don't want nobody wasting my time. What if I do this, and I want y'all to give me a number 10, if this works? 10. I make sure I'm not playing with the numbers. That you pay $75 for the course, and if you last the whole course, I give you $50 back.
okay, Bishop.
And if you miss a day because you're wasting my time, I'm keeping your $75. Is that
And you
fair?
want me to what? The 10?
10. If that's fair, 10. It's $75 for the course. Because I listen, my time, I don't reason $25 ain't gonna hurt me. I promise you. It isn't. But I'd rather you say, I'm gonna show up. I don't want you wasting my time. I'll give you my heart. I'll give you everything. But I'm telling you, I just keep 25 of my time and give you your $50 back. But you made an investment. All right. If you do that, listen, I'm gonna get my Mondays. And if anybody know me, they know my schedule is very tight. But I want you to win this year. I want you to win this year. We want you to win this year. So, baby, I think it's done.
I think it's done. Give us to tomorrow. We'll have a link out for you to go register. It'll be out and about for the financial literacy uh
20
legacy.
people, 20 people limit. 20 people limit. I
20
can take
people
20
living.
people.
No more. If this is evening model works, can we adopt it? No. Look at Legacy. No. That's not for the den. Legacy like, can we adopt it? She said, I'll try. Let me try. So that's what it is. Okay, what are they supposed to email? Thank you, Brittany. What do you want them to email us?
I need that email address. Well, you tell them however you want to tell them. I don't know. You tell them and we'll do it.
So shoot us your email address, and what we're gonna do, we will send you the link so that you can be. And that's the first 20 people. How about that? The first 20 people that send us this email. So if you're watching
No,
replay,
no, the first 20 people to register. You can have 20 people to send their first email and only 10 of them register. The first 20 people to register. After we get the email and we send the
I'm gonna have to make
registration.
a link real. So don't even worry about emailing us. Then let me just make the link and go
No,
there.
I want them to make an early commitment. Email us. Early
Okay.
commitment.
Okay.
Email us. The second commitment is registration. The third commitment is showing up.
Okay. What he said. So what you want them to do? What you want them to send me?
I want you
What
to
you
just I want them to email us, put the email address, email us and say, I'm sign me up. And we're
okay.
gonna reply to your email with the link. Sign
So
me up
email us, and say, I'm doing it right now. Sign me up. And our email address is this. I'm putting it in the screen, y'all.
for the
So y'all can
financial freedom course.
sign me up. That
For
you
the
want.
financial freedom course.
Nah, I can't spell all that now.
Fine.
Freedom.
Oh, FF course.
No, that don't sound right.
No, you don't.
That don't. There we go. All right. I just put it in the chat. So you guys got it. Email us and say sign me up, financial freedom course. And I don't know why I want to say the first 20 people, Bishop. No, you want them to sign up first?
Sign up because then the register because them 20 people might change their mind and somebody else left out because that person didn't follow up all the way.
Okay. You know what you're doing. Yes, sir. So that's it, y'all. We didn't come here for that, but we're so glad that you want it and we want to teach it to you. But not we. Bishop is gonna teach it to you. And I just add my little two pieces in here and there. But he's gonna teach it to you, you guys. We taught it, we shared with the dean last night, and we're done. We shared with the dean last night how God has allowed us to be able to set different things up, and we are living like no one else so that we can live like no one else. And we will never be broke another day in our
Another
life
day in our life.
because of that. And we're learning that. I know we've had adversities, we had ups and downs, we've had ins and outs. And if you even knew the moves that we're making now, we are really trusting God. And it's scary. And I'm not gonna cry on this thing. It's fearful and it's scary, but we're doing it. And so we want to teach. And we told the Lord, if you put us through, we'll teach you everything we know. Right, Bishop? We'll give
Yes.
everything we know. Any last words? So command your money. Join the financial freedom with us. Be a part of that. Email us. She said this was a good command. We got to get you on here one day and talk about real estate.
Yes.
Because baby, they don't understand real estate is powerful.
Hey,
To have
Clark, the Lions Den talked about last night. Everybody in the Lions Den talking about buying a property and flipping at the same time. So it'd be nice to get that much commission at one time.
Clyde, and we thinking about you, sugar.
Yes, ma'am.
We ain't forgot, but we sure trying to get the DN next year. Where she at? I can't find her name. All right. Any last words, Bishop? Let's go. We got to get in here with our family and enjoy.
Yeah.
Look, she say, "Woo!" There she go. We
I'm
tried.
excited, man. I'm
We want
so
them to buy
excited.
property.
This is not supposed to happen today. Y'all just put my work on me. God bless y'all. I'm gonna enjoy this Monday because I don't know when I'm gonna get another free Monday.
Right. Y'all, thank y'all so much for rocking out. Listen, make sure you like, you share, subscribe, all of that great stuff. We're going to be doing a Mind Your Business Monday because we're getting ready for some stuff. I do want to share this. We're getting ready for some stuff coming up in October, also in March. So don't miss out. That has to do with financial ways to be able to grow. But join the financial class now that we're there. Join it. Be a part of it. You got the information that's on here. It's in the chat. Email us. Say sign me up for the financial freedom course. And let's rock out together for the next couple of weeks. Until then, man, stay blessed. Thank y'all for rocking out. Like, share. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Enjoy your Monday.
All right, be blessed.
Bye-bye.